Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Code and Coffee Show. In this show, we are talking about the two most important things for every developer. So it's about code and about coffee. We will start with, of course, the coffee part. And today I have a really amazing guest, Baptiste, who is the creator. One of the creators, right? Because it's an open source project on which there is a lot of people working. Creator of Nuxt Studio. But before we'll dive into Nuxt Studio, are you a coffee drinker? Baptiste?
Oh, sorry. I
Question.
missed
Are
this
you a
one.
coffee
Yeah, okay.
drinker?
Yeah, of course. Okay, that was the first question. I missed this one. Yeah. Of course, I'm a coffee drinker. Not a big one, but I need my big coffee in the morning and my coffee after lunch. That's the two essentials coffee. Of course, I am.
And what coffee type is your favorite? Do you have any favorites, any favorite roasteries or anything?
Oh, I didn't work on that. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me about those questions.
This is always
I'm
the
not.
surprising part.
I'm a classical one. I'm a classical one. So yeah, I use classical coffee. I'm an espresso machine user. So I love those kind of coffee. And yeah, currently I'm in a co-working space, and there is a really good coffee. It's a big machine, so that's the best. But I didn't choose the coffee. I just drink it, and that's already great. Already great.
You just choose the co-working space because of the great coffee, right?
Yeah. That was part of the list.
Yeah, because like this is like a constant part of every code and coffee show, because we always start with this coffee. Because let's be honest, from all the episodes I had, we only had one tea drinker. So yeah, this is something that always. When you ask a developer, "Are you a coffee drinker?" Yeah, you have like 90% of a chance to say, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah,
And
sure.
and yeah, you are from France, and we all know that this is like the classical connection, the coffee and the croissant, right? And all those French coffee places. It's like in every movie, right? With this music in the background, it's like a
Yeah,
typical connection
I
when you
can I
think
can
about.
confirm. I can confirm there are lots of coffees and brasseries in Paris. Mainly in Paris. I'm living in Paris, so there are
Mhm.
lots of coffee. You can't. You don't have music in all the coffee, of course, but yeah, lots of with all the terraces and yeah, that's part of the culture. So yeah, you can find coffee everywhere. That's sure, for sure.
That's perfect. So, for everyone who don't know, every guest of the Colin Coffee Show receives a bit of specialty coffee from my home city, from Wood. So, so we will have a chance to try
Nice.
what the Coffee Hood Roastery can offer. But yeah, let's talk about the more interesting part, the Nuxt Studio. I remember that during last year JS World and Vue.js World, someone during their talk showed, because they were showing how to update something, and I saw the Nuxt Studio link, and they were using it. It was probably a very early version, but this was the moment when I got interested in something interesting is coming. And at some point, I got the invite, and yeah, Nuxt Studio is an amazing CMS. But what else it can offer apart from managing content? How would you describe?
Um, okay, first, I think to describe Studio, you first need to talk about content, the content module, of course. So if you take things into order, you can start by Nuxt, because of course, Nuxt Studio is for Nuxt website, and it's for Nuxt content website. So we can start by talking about Nuxt content. Nuxt content is a module, so a classical Nuxt module, and it has been created to separate your content and your Nuxt project. So you have your Nuxt project, Nuxt architecture, classic one, and then you have a content folder, And inside this content folder, you can put all your content data as Markdown files mainly, but also as YML, whatever you want. And thanks to the API provided by the module, you can grab and query this content from any view page or any view component. So you can just act like you are doing with a database, except that this database is in your code, in your content folder. So no need to set up a database. Everything is on Git. So you have the historic, you have everything, and yeah, and you can manage your content with that. That was the thing that people really loved when content came up, and content came up, I think maybe it's 2 years ago, the first version, then the second version appears, and with the content, with the second version at Nuxtlabs, we told ourselves we are always updating our documentation. It was mainly focused on documentation, but it can work on any website. And we told ourselves we would like to be able to update this documentation really easily. I mean, without having to set up another environment, launch the entire project. I just want to update the content, so it's really easy. Why not having a platform that allows to do that? And this is how Nuxt Studio came. The idea was to be able to edit your content live in a browser, inside the browser, in a browser platform. And the hardest point of it was the live preview, in fact, to being able to represent your modification inside the content. And yeah, and thanks to the Markdown syntax, we are able to live preview Markdown and also view components inside Markdown. So that's the I mean the magical part of Studio, and the hardest parts. We've been working on it since 2 years, I think, and that was a big one. And I can also add that another hard things was to synchronize everything with GitHub, because since the project, your repository is on GitHub, we need to make all the synchronization, commit synchronization, file synchronization, deployment synchronization, everything. And because we already had created a project, a SaaS, which was Volta, which is the project we are using to manage our project. That's kind of a Jira of a Trello. We were already using GitHub API with this product, so we were already used to the GitHub synchronization. So it helped to build this platform, the Studio platform.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience that I already had with Nuxt Studio, I must agree that the way how everything synchronizes smoothly both ways, it's really amazing. It's really amazing. You just it looks so, let's use this word, natural, really, even if it's yeah, because it's a Markdown editor on steroids. Especially with those components, which are amazing. But yeah, the way how it synchronizes really makes a lot of difference, because you don't have to worry about some things; they will just happen.
Yeah, that's thanks to the GitHub API, which is massive. And yeah, there are so much things. You have all the hooks, so you can listen to the hooks to get your data back. The API is great. There is GraphQL or REST API. Yeah, that's a great API.
So I can already ask one question. Yeah, the GitHub API, and what about other Git providers, GitLab and Bitbucket, for example? Yeah. What about them?
Yeah, of course, you're not the first one to ask this question, and of course, in the future, we would like to add lots of providers, but currently, as I just explained, that's a massive work behind the scene to be able to synchronize everything. So first of all, we didn't dig it with other providers. So first, we need to be sure that the API is big enough to do what we are doing with GitHub, to be sure it's providing the same kind of API and the same way to synchronize data. And if it's doable, big refactor is coming. but
Okay.
yeah, it makes sense. And in fact, we've implemented it with that in mind. But yeah, the first goal was to already have something working with GitHub, which is already a first big thing. And if everything is going well with GitHub, we could, of course, and that's in the backlog already, think of multiple providers, one by one.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, I can imagine this because like when we just implemented our Git implementations at Kinsta, it went exactly the same road. First, we used GitHub because, I mean, let's be honest, it covers most of the developers. And if we'll see the traction, if we'll see that people are interested in different providers, yeah, let's go. Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, so I know that you prepared a really interesting demo that will show us what you can achieve with Nuxt Studio. So yeah, I think that yeah, let's dive in, right?
Okay, let's go then. Let me share my screen.
And this will be, of course, this is live, so yeah, things might happen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I hope the god of live demo will be with us today.
Exactly. Let's hope. Let's hope for the best. Okay, so
let's do
I'm
that.
sharing your screen.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm on the landing page of Nuxt Studio. Here you can see that Nuxt Studio is described as the pro version of Nuxt content. As I have explained just before, everything is based off Nuxt content, and we can do a lot of things thanks to the way Nuxt content is implemented. And we've also updated Nuxt content to be fully compatible with Nuxt Studio. So both are working together. And that's the reason why the demo I will do today is both a Nuxt content demo and Nuxt Studio demo, of course. The idea is to show you how the developer can focus on the structure and design of the website and let the editors, whatever they are, if they are sales, marketing people, or just developer working on the documentation or whatever, but let editors people do their work. I mean, editing the content on Studio. So the developer focus on the structure, on the design, and then the editors can focus on the content. That's the main idea of Studio, and this is what I want to show you today. So okay, let's start. So I've entered my Studio account. You can see here that I have my GitHub username already selected. So I'm connecting with GitHub. It means my account is synchronized with Studio, and by default I have my personal user selected. I can create some team. Team, it's the pro version, and team are there to collaborate on Studio. So it means you have live collaboration in the editor. You can share your project, of course. So share the previews of what you have updated. The pro version is for collaboration, it's for teams, but all features are available in both plan. So the OB plan has all the features of the pro plans, except collaboration. But all the features are available for personal developers. Okay, so first thing I can do, I can add a project. So when I click add a project, I have several choices. I can either start from a theme, or I can import an existing one. An existing project, it means if you already have a Nuxt content website, you can just import it and it should work. You should be able to edit it from Studio. Or you can start for a theme. We have a different variety of theme. And in fact, currently we are thinking of how we should prepare, work on new templates. In fact, we are working on new templates. New templates are coming, and we are rethinking all the templates things. So lots will come with templates in the future, and yeah, we are working on it. In fact, I will talk about it, but we are working on a new library, and this library will help us create really great templates. So currently we have 3 different templates: a documentation one, a blog one, a portfolio one, and a really minimalist templates. And in fact, I will use these minimalist templates because I want to come from a really blank project, update it, and then show how you can directly modify this project from Studio. So I will use this theme. I enter this page, so you can see that my owner is selected, so I can create my repository inside my GitHub account. Let's call it starter, that's great. And I can just create my repository from this minimal starter. So I click it there. What's going on? Oh, my repository name already exists on this account because I've already created
Probably
this
we created
name,
it yesterday during our test.
Yeah, that's it. And I didn't delete it on GitHub. So I can say starter.
Coffee, maybe starter coffee or coffee starter. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it's a coffee starter. Let's go. Let's create it. So behind the scene here, we are cloning the starter, and we are creating it on GitHub. So you can see that my project has been created. I can check here. My repository is directly created on GitHub. It has been created. I have my initial commit by Nuxt Studio. Every file has been created. And then I can deploy it, because of course to update it, I need to deploy it. And there is 2 ways of deploy. You can self-host it. So you can deploy it on any provider you want, Netlify, Vercel, whatever you want. You just need to add the Studio module manually. Everything is in the documentation section. Just have to follow the documentation section. There is a token to set because we have to ensure you are owning the website. But you can deploy it yourself, or you can just let us do everything for you and just click on this button, deploy my project on GitHub Pages, and we will do the work for you. So we will create a CI on GitHub and we will deploy it on GitHub Pages. You have nothing to do, just wait for the deployment. What I've done is, in order to not wait for the deployment, it's 3 minutes, but let's not wait our time. I've created another one, a studio demo. It's already there and it's already live, so I can directly update it. By default, you can see that it's created in a nuxt.space domain. So at the creation, you can choose the name of your nuxt.space domain. And if you want to use a custom domain, you can, of course, use a custom domain. Just set the DNS in your provider, and we will also do the trick to update it on GitHub Pages. Okay, let's go. Let's see my wonderful and really attractive starter. Wow, wonderful. That's really, really sexy. So as you can see, it's a really blank starter. Everything is working at Studio. I have 2 pages. So here is my content folder. So all my content files. So you can see if I go on the index, you can see all my content here. And if I want to add a little sunny icon, I can already do it. So currently Studio is already working, but you will agree with me, it's not really attractive. So let's.
It reminds me. Do you remember this thing, this movement, CSS Naked Day? When
Yeah. So exactly. That's even worse. Okay, let's revert it. And what you can do now, you can just open your project on GitHub and just imagine you are the developer. Let's code the project. So you can just clone it, copy it, and you just clone it there. To be fast, I've already done it, of course, and it's even already running there. I hope it's the good one. Yes, Studio Demo is already running there, and I've of course already opened it here. So here is my project. Everything is ready to start coding, but I've just cloned it. Okay. First thing, let's see if it's running. Okay, localhost. Wonderful. I have the exact same thing. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay. So first thing I will do is show you what I will do to be faster, because I'm a lazy developer, such as a lot of developers, I want to use tools I love to use. So I love Nuxt. I love the UI library, which is the official library we are maintaining at Nuxtlabs. So this is the library we are working on since 2 years, I think. All our products, Volta, which is this product, Volta and Studio are both made with this UI library. And since 2 or 3 months, it's now open source, and it has been released. So lots of people are already using it. You can check at the documentation and the GitHub. And we are working on a pro version of UI, which is a license version. So you can buy a license, and it's a one lifetime license. You can build as many projects as you want with this license. And I will use it because you will see that you can build big application and really beautiful application in a minute. So yeah, I will use UI Pro. It has not been released yet, but it's coming really soon. I mean, it's coming in next week. It should be good, or yeah, before the end of the month, it should be released. So it's kind of a teasing. It's not a demonstration about UI Pro, but I will be using it because it's really powerful and it's easy to use. So okay, let's go. First thing, let's update my Nuxt config. Just to show you, I'm using UI Pro, which is a layer. So you need to extend it, and I'm using Nuxt UI and of course Nuxt content. I've added the MDI icon to use icons. So that's all. Once I'm good with that, I can use UI Pro. Okay, so the first thing I will do, you can see that currently my app.view is really easy. I have just a Nuxt page inside of it. That's the main one, the classical one. So what I will do is, I won't take this one. In fact, I'm currently working on you can see that's the preview of Studio itself. So of course I'm writing the documentation of Studio with Studio itself. So that's not live currently, but I'm working on creating an article and a tutorial based on the demo I'm doing today. So it should follow the same step I will follow today, and it's not live yet. So I'm on a preview mode because I'm on a branch. Yeah, let's do that. Let's copy this. I think I'm missing a template there. Yeah, thank you. Let's just remove my footer for the moment and my header to do things step by step. Okay, so here I'm using one of the main basic components of UI Pro, which is UMain. It's just adding padding and stuff. And then you can see that, so that's the app.view. I have my Nuxt page component, which is reading the page's view to display it. So I have a catch-all page. So this is the slug page. It means all page will be displayed based on this one. And inside this catch-all page, I have a content doc. So content doc is the most classical component of Nuxt content. That's the basic one, and it's just what it's doing behind the scene. It's just reading your path, taking your slug, and getting the appropriate content based on your slug. So if I'm on the /about page, it will grab the /about markdown and display it there. So that's what is happening. It's what is happening here. Here I'm on the. If I go on the /about, it just display the about page. And I will update this page because it's one more time really easy, and I will update it. Each time I'm switching, I'm doing that. Let's do it step by step. Okay, so I'm just adding a U page inside a U container to have a container in my catch-all page, a U page. and a UPage body. And inside this UPage body, instead of content doc, I will use content renderer. That's same kind of component from content itself. So this one is from content module. But the point is you have to send it a page. So this page have to be fetched using the API, the content API. So in fact, I'm doing the exact same thing as what the content doc was doing. I'm fetching my root, current root, and I'm fetching content based on my path. I receive this page, and what I'm able to do now is, if the page does not exist, I can go on the page not found. That's the only thing that that has been improved now. Okay, so now I've just added some of Nuxt UI Pro visual, and it's already better. Okay?
Much better. Yeah.
It looks already better. So now what we could do, we can add two things. We can add a header on my page. Okay, so I want my page to have a header, and then I want a navigation tree. So how it works is, inside the U page, I have a slot, which is a left slot. So on the left, on my U page component, I have a block. And in this block, I use the USide, which is a scrollable component. And inside this scrollable component, I can use my navigation tree. And this navigation tree just take my links, and to do that, I just need to call content once again. So fetch content navigation is from, it's a content composable, and it will just read my content folder and create a tree based on this content. So if I have folder inside the content folder, it will create some nested roots, and I will have a nested tree. And then I'm just using a UI Pro utils tools to just map it. Okay, let's see how it looks like. I think I need to refresh to see my, okay, yeah, wonderful. So here I already have my navigation there. I can switch between page, and we can see that I have my header. So what we could do is, my header is reading the front matter of my Markdown page. So front matter, everything I'm explaining here is, of course, in the Nuxt content documentation, so you can have a check. But for example, front matter, we could say it's metadata of your page. So you can add some metadata, see it as a YML, and you can add as much as info as you want in your page. So it's not content itself, it's content, but it's more, you can see it as a JSON of data. And I'm reading for the title of my page, I want to display the front matter, the title, and front matter, the description. So what I can do here is just adding there to be sure it's working. Okay, so I want the title, which is Demo Studio, and a description, which is let's work with content and studio. Okay, just okay. And if I go there, come on. Yeah, okay, great. So it's reading my front matter. Everything works as expected. I will copy paste that for the next. Okay, great. So now my page looks great. Let's just add a main header and a main footer, if you agree. Okay,
of course.
To my app.view. I'm not at a good place there. Let's go to my app.view, and I can just add an header. Really easy. I'm using the U header of UI Pro. Inside this U header, there is several slots, but I'm using two of them. You check at documentation to see the others, but there is the logo slot, and inside the logo slot, I don't have a logo for the moment. I'm just writing Demo Studio, and inside the right slot, so on the right side of the header, I will add the uColor mode button, which is handling the light dark mode for me. I have nothing else to do. And let's add a footer. Really easy. Footer is working the same with lots of slots. And inside the what slot, I will just add two buttons, my GitHub button and my Twitter button, redirecting to the good one with the good icons. Okay, I'm still saying Twitter, I know. Sorry, that's X. I will change at some point, but not yet. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Okay, great. That's already better.
Yes, we have the footer. We have the possibility to change the mode.
Yeah, that looks great. Let me just add. I've seen that. Let me just add this little class just to ensure. There is another way to fixing it. I should update UI presets, but because I've just seen that just before the demo, I just fixed it quickly with the class, just to see it there. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, great. One other thing I would like to do before pushing all my modification, I will just, my phone is vibrating. Okay. One more thing I would like to do is just create this pictures card component. Okay, so with content, you can create view components, and you have to create those components inside this folder. So inside the component/content folder, and inside this folder, you can create components, and all those components will be accessible from your Markdown file. So it means you will be able to use it inside the Markdown file thanks to the MDC syntax, so Markdown component syntax. I will show you how it works. So let's just create, that's a CD component, but let's just create it. Okay, great. I'm just using the ucard here, which is in fact a classic, that's UI, that's the UI lib, not even UI Pro, you can use it. So that's just a card with an header, a body, and a footer. And what I will do is I will use the slot. So inside the header, I will just create my own slot, which is a content slot. Content slot, it's from content module also. And it's like a slot, but the difference is when you are passing some markdown, it will interpret it. It will interpret the markdown. That's the only difference. So you can pass markdown. So I will create it and I will name this slot title. And in the footer, I will do the same with a slot description. So I have a slot title as a header and a slot description as a footer. And in the middle, I will just create a default slot. Okay, that's it. And then because the idea of this demo is to show how you can update, customize components from Studio, I will just add a color prop. And based on this color prop, I will modify the ring of my card. So just change the border color of my card. That's all. Okay. So looks okay. Now that this component is ready, I will push everything on my website. Okay. So let's go for it. Demo content part, because there is a second part after that. But let's push that. Okay, here's the first thing. So because of course we are totally synchronized with GitHub, we should see my website should be aware that I've pushed something, and it should, of course, yeah, great. So I'm
it is in progress, yes.
Yeah, so the website is getting deployed, and once it will be deployed, I will receive all my files, and all my files will be synchronized, of course. So let's just wait for that. For the moment, let's wait for the deploy.
Yeah, in the meantime, I must say that the part about the components and the fact that we will be able to preview them in Nuxt Studio, this is one of the most useful things for any person who will be writing content, because they don't have to worry about remembering some snippets or having the whole snippet library just to copy and paste. Yeah, they can just create them, have them inside of the repository, and use them when needed. So this is something
Yeah,
amazing, just like this.
yeah, that's in fact that was content was existing before I arrived in Nuxtlabs, and I was like, it's so great. So the Markdown syntax was already existing, and yeah, it's so great. You can just focus on your component and then just integrate it inside the Markdown. So yeah, that's great. That's so great.
Yeah, and especially if something will change, you just change the component and it will work without worrying and searching and replacing some parts in the Markdown code. So yeah, this is
yeah, that's the best way. The best way to separate domain, to have really the developer domain, the structure of your website, design of your website, and then on the other part have the content of your website, which is as a developer, I know that that's not what I love. And I know that developer loves to create stuff, not edit the content inside it. We love to, yeah. If we could do everything with Lorem Ipsum, we will do it. We could do it. Okay, looks like it has been deployed. Let's have a little refresh. I think I have a cache stuff.
Yeah, the cache. The cache is always the problem. So
yeah, but now it's good. It has been deployed. So you can see that my website is deployed there. It already looks better. I can switch between modes. I don't know which one is the best to visualize the preview. Is it dark
personally
one or light one?
I always prefer the dark mode for everything.
Oh, of course, I'm the same. Okay, so what I can do now, yeah, I'm on Studio now. I can update my website. So let's just say I don't need that no more. Let's say just Nuxt Studio. Yeah, wonderful. I can add whatever I want. And imagine here, I don't want this about page. Now I want, let's say, a gallery. Okay, yeah, wonderful. A gallery. And I think the order is not the good one between both. So maybe what I could do is just doing that. Okay. Demo Studio about contents. Okay, I need to change the name of it. Title, we told ourselves that it should be gallery. Okay, yeah. Wonderful. And let's say pictures all around the world. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, let's say pictures here. And now I would like to use the, this component I've created, the picture card I've created in my components content. I should be able to add it. So here you can see that it's available there. I have my picture card, so let's add it. Yeah, wonderful, it's already there. If you remember well, I've created the title slot, so I can update my slot. It's the MDC syntax. You have to know it to display your component, but be aware that we could talk of this later, but we are working on a better editor, a non-tech editor, an editor we could update without having to know the MDC syntax. So let's say my last trip around the Alps. Okay, little icon of mountains, because we love icons, of course. Let me give more space. Okay, and then if you remember well, I had the description. Sunny day, almost no clouds. Okay, wonderful. So it's related to the class I've set here. That was a text gray 500, text to Excel font bold. So this is what I've asked here. And then the default slots, I can add whatever I want. Okay, so here I would like to add maybe, let me think, where should I do that? Demo, yeah. I will add an image. So I can directly drag and drop it inside my editor. And then from there, I'm able to update the name of my picture. So let's say Alps, mountain. I can update the alt of my picture. For SEO, of course, it's better. So let's say
and accessibility. Let's not forget accessibility.
And accessibility, of course. Landscape. mountains, and let's create a folder. So here I'm inside my public repository. In fact, this is a visualization of my public repository. So I'm creating a mountains folder. Yeah, great. I can go inside and let's create my image inside it. So let's save. It should load. And yeah, wonderful. I have my image. That's great. If you want to check your image, you can use the command palette. So it's Command K. And with Command K, you can open your current palette. So you can see all the files you have updated, current changes here, and you have a lot of actions. You have access to all your files, of course, all your medias, all your branches, also if you have different branches, and lots of actions are available from here. You can have a check, also configs, we'll see that later. Okay, so you can check, go to your image. It has been updated, it has been uploaded inside the public repository. So you can go here. That's the media. From here, you have the media block and editor block. Let's go back to my page. The last thing I want to show you is, do you remember this this color prop?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So it's not useful at all. It's just to show, that's for the purpose of the demo. It's not even beautiful. But that's for the purpose of the demo. It's just to show that you can give the power to the user of Studio. Like if you want, if your client or your friend, your colleagues wants to be able to modify, I don't know what, but if they want to be able to modify the border of the picture block, they can do it. I can set by color. There is auto completion. And here you can change, say blue, red, green, yellow. So you can play with it. Let's keep the yellow. That's my favorite. Okay, that's it. And once you are happy with what you've done, you can directly commit that on GitHub. So you can check what you've done. That's kind of a desktop GitHub desktop visual, so developer should be used to it. You can just check your differences, see your image, and once you are happy with that, content demo from Studio, you can either create a new branch or commit on your main branch and deploy your website. So let's commit on main, and once again, the commit will be done on GitHub. Once it's done on GitHub, files are synchronized. Your website should deploy in a minute, and everything is synchronized. So if we, in progress again.
In progress.
And if you go there, you can see that content demo from Studio has been committed there. Okay, great. I have another thing to show. Here, there is a last section, which is the config section. And in fact, you have also another way of giving ability to Studio user to customize the website. And this other way of doing it is the AppConfig. So if you are Nuxt user, you should already know the AppConfig file. In fact, it's a simple file that's here to update, customize your website on runtime. So you can, just customize your website. You are able to. That's a JSON. Let's create one. So that's a JSON, and you can pick this configuration all over your website. So you just use the use AppConfig composable, and from here you can grab all your configuration from this file. So let's do that. So as you can see, that's a really simple JSON. I've just created an header with a title. So that's the title of my header. I have also an icon. I will even remove this one, the default one. You have a footer display, which is a Boolean to say, should I display my footer or not? And there are some my socials. So let's remove it also. GitHub, Twitter are here. So now I want to use, of course, this AppConfig. So I will just grab, okay. let's update my app.view. So here I've changed just a few things. I've really changed just a few things, you see. It's not really, it's hard to see there. So what I've done is in the slot logo, I've just created a new component which is an icon from Nuxt icon, and I'm saying if I have an header.icon which is set, display my icon, else you just display the title. Okay, then I have added a condition in my footer to say just display it if I want to display it. And for my button, I've just also added a condition to display it only if it's filled in my app config. And then of course I need to redirect to the appropriate one. So yeah, okay, and that's all. And I'm just using the use app config to get all this data. Great, that's my only modification. And now, so it should already work. If we go on localhost, okay, yeah, of course it's not happy because I've just created the app config, which is a main piece of Nuxt.
Oh yeah.
I need to restart the server. That's a really important file. Okay, great. So you can see that I have no more my icons there because I've removed them from the app config, and Demo Studio updated. Yeah, it's working.
It works, yeah.
Great. Okay, so it's taking thing from here. Now I want to be able to edit this app config from Studio itself. To do that, I need to create a schema to explain how Studio should display my data. Next schema dot.
So in short, we will be now creating a settings page that will be in our Nuxt Studio that will be able to edit all of our global variables.
Oh yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I'm not sure I understand was it a question? I'm not sure I understand your point.
No, it was just kind of a thing. But I mean, yeah, we will be just creating now a setting page inside of the studio that will be able to.
Yeah. Okay, let's grab this schema. Great. So I'm just using the define Nuxt schema. This field is provided by the Studio module itself. It's the way we are customizing the field of your app config. So here is my app config representation. First, I have my socials. Okay, so here is the descriptions. You can use JS docs to edit those fields, but for field, I think it's better to use the tool we've provided, which is the field one. You will see how it works. So I just give the description. Then I can also set the icon to display for this object. So you will see this icon on the interface. Then I will say Twitter is a type string, title is Twitter, or we can change X. In fact, let's keep Twitter for the moment.
Let's keep Twitter, yeah.
What a battle. Description, Twitter social handle, and you can set the icon, of course. Same for GitHub. I just fill everything. For my header, so header configuration, I choose the icon, and then I say that's a type string, which is a header, and the description is header title to display if no icon is provided, because it's what I've done in my code. And then I set the icon. And for the icon, you should see that the type is not the same. We have a type icon here because we are handling icon on Studio side. So you can decide to display an icon type, and you will see how it behaves on Studio. And finally, my footer display, which is a Boolean. So I display the footer. Great, my schema is ready. I can push that.
And in the meantime, I will ask, because when it comes to types, we saw string, we saw icon, we saw Boolean. What else? What are the other types?
Currently, I can show you. Oh yeah, of course, it's not happy. Sorry, let me just finish that.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because of course I've pushed from Studio, so I need to pull what I've changed from Studio, and should be.
And this is the
now.
cool thing about Studio. You don't have to think about some things, but when you come back to your local host, sadly,
yeah,
then you have to remember.
Of course. About the different types you have, in fact, I'm as I told you, I'm working on this documentation here, and so I've already worked on it. I'm working on this developer education documentation, and so about the app config, everything is described here, and yeah, and I forgot to remove those ones because component does not exist and file does not exist. But you know what? We can do it directly from Studio. I can say docs improvement. Let's, oh no, not open the preview, sorry. Let's just, okay, good. Let's just edit my branch. Okay, let's go on my docs here, next content app config. Oh, should go there. Yeah, app config here, and I said that those one.
No
That
file
was
and
that.
no component.
Yeah, this one was not prepared. But you see that, yeah, I can just do that. Okay, great.
But this is kind of one of the most practical demos when you edit the documentation of your own product in the product. So this
of
means
course.
that, yeah, it's usable. It's usable.
Yeah, of course. I'm always using it. And you can see that if I open the preview in my new tab here, yeah, great. That's not here anymore. I'm just using it that the preview mode is enabled. So yeah, and if I close, I think we are going back to the old documentation, which is totally different. You see that I've modified totally the same. Yeah, that's not the point. So if you want to, so just to answer your question, you have the string type, numbers type, Boolean type, array, objects. In fact, those ones will be released in the next release next Tuesday. I'm currently working on it. We are currently working on it. And there is the icon type and the color type, which is a color picker. Okay, maybe it has been deployed. I don't know. Yep. Okay, what's going on with the preview?
Like always, there is a chance that caching will.
Maybe. What the hell? Everything has been deployed here 1 minute ago. What? It just takes some time. Oh, that's okay. Let me check if I have everything here. Yeah.
Yeah, in theory, it's here. Just something about the preview per se.
Yeah, something random. That's first time I've experienced that during this demo. That's the demo thing. And I have
there is always.
what. Let's open the preview in another tab. Okay, you know what? Maybe we have a tool. When your preview is broken, you can clear your preview cache. So I can clear my preview cache, refresh, and it's not changing anything. Okay. Let me sync my files from GitHub, then clear it. No way.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because the configuration itself is.
Yeah, it's there. We can see that the configuration is loaded there, but maybe I pushed something in the AppConfig that was not. Should be up to date there. Socials. Yeah, everything should be good. Yeah, config has been pushed.
In theory, everything is okay.
Yeah,
this is
okay. Okay, sorry for that. I've done this demo several times, and that's the first time this happens.
Yeah, I can even tell that we were doing a dry run yesterday, and of course everything went smoothly.
Yeah.
But
let me check if I close the preview. Okay, if I close the preview, yeah, it has been deployed and it's working. You can see that I have no more my icon, so it's working there, but with the preview, it's no more working.
Yeah, I see there are some errors in theory.
Okay. No errors.
No errors.
Okay, I know, and I have no. Maybe I have no clue. Let me check the WebSockets to fit the connection. What's going on? API. That's good. Production message. Draft sync. Nil. Why
looks
not?
Good.
I am losing my. You know what? Let me create a branch. Maybe I can.
Oh yeah.
Fit demo. I will create a branch. Maybe with a new branch, the preview will be good. But that's definitely a weird case. Okay, that's working with a new branch. You can see that my branch is synchronizing. So I think I will be able to do that. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, things like this happen. And this is always kind of the stressful part about any live demo.
Yeah.
You never know when.
But in fact, that's.
When.
And now it's good.
Even the main is working.
And now the main is working. Clearly, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not even able to reproduce because I've done the exact same thing we've done together yesterday.
So
okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's continue that. It's working. Sorry for this little bug. Okay, so
live debugging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, great. It's working. Let's see if the live preview of the application is working. You can see here that my AppConfig has been created. So here I have my socials, header, footer with the descriptions. If you go in the social, if you remember well, I've added those icons there. Everything is customizable, of course. So here I can add my Twitter icon. Yeah, great, it's working. It has been added there. And same for GitHub. And yeah, great, it's also available there. So it's working. If you remember well, I've added this condition on the footer to display it or not. Yeah, that's it. And that was a Boolean type, so it's just a toggle. Up, I can hide it or show it. Okay, that's my choice. The developer choice. If the developer gives the ability, the user can do it from Studio. That's the point. Let's keep it. In fact, it doesn't make sense to be able to hide a footer, but once again, that's for the demo.
You will be surprised. I mean, I remember in my career I had so many clients with so different ideas that sometimes you just go, of course, I will add this. I will add this another if, and
that's it. If the developers can do it, if the developers want it, the client can do it. That's the point.
Exactly.
And finally, I have my header. So you remember the header title to display if no icon is provided. Demo Studio live. Okay, great. But if I want an icon, I can use the icon type, and there is an icon selector with the icon type. So from here, I can either choose Nuxt icon, but if I remember well, yesterday we were more talking about a coffee
of course,
icon.
Of course. And really, this is one of those things. Very often, when you think about choosing your perfect icon library, this is amazing. So many coffee icons. It can make your life so much easier.
Yeah, lots of icons. In fact, we are using Iconify, so we are just contacting the API. Okay, great. So I've been able to update it. Things. I've added my socials. I've updated my icon, and that's it. I'm keeping the footer. I think it's better to to see the future.
To have
And
it,
then
yeah.
when to have it. And if I want to save my change, of course, I have the detail, because finally what's going on there is I'm updating my TS file. And so you can see the modification we've done. And if you are agree with that, you can just commit on it. And yeah, that's it. Just commit on main, and it should deploy it. Okay, great. And if I move to my branch, because I've created a branch, I'm on main, but I've created a branch, and this branch, yeah, I do not have my icons there because that's on my branch. So of course it's not updated.
But I saw when you change the branch, there is also this cool
yeah,
feature to
and now,
merge.
yeah, sure, indeed, you can see that. Indeed, I should have done that. You can see that here when you are on another branch, not in the main branch, there is no more save button, there is a merge button. And from this merge button, you can, of course, open a PR directly from GitHub. In this case, there is nothing to compare because I think there is some, it should have some conflicts, in fact, if I go back to the main.
Yeah, there should be, because right now we just deployed something.
Indeed, so I can say AppConfig demo has been deployed. And if I go to my branch,
but maybe because the branch is behind, and that's why it doesn't see the difference. This may be the thing.
Yeah, in fact, it's GitHub, so that's not buggy.
Yeah,
because it's GitHub, but I don't totally get it. If it's
yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think yeah, I should. In fact, I should rebase my branch on the other one. I should rebase main on FitDemo, I think, to see it. But what we could do, we could also go on main and just create. Oh, you know what? We can create branch fit. Let's say to merge. Let's create this branch. Okay, great. It has been created.
Now let's edit something simple
and yeah, let's just maybe just change the icon. We can easily. Oh, you know what? Let's remove this footer.
Let's hide the footer. Yeah. It's useful. It's useful in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we already can see that there is no possibility to save to main, just to commit to the branch we created.
Okay, great. So now my branch has been saved. So what I can do here is open the pull request, and here I should see the pull request. So if I want to merge inside main, here are the modification. I can of course create a pull request. Let's say hide footer, create a pull request. Here you should see that we are directly synced with GitHub, and it should directly see my pull request here, hide footer. So I can select, and even if I move, sorry, there is the fit demo, but if I move to fit to merge, we know there is a related pull request, so it's displayed here, and you can see this merge button, and then you can, oh no, yeah, I footer, the footer is hidden. I was like, I changed the icon. And then you can choose to merge your pull request, or of course squash it. So that's developer stuff. Whatever you want, you can directly merge it. I have only one commit, so I think I can merge it. Don't need to squash. And I should go back to my main branch. The footer is hidden, and of course it's not set here. And same, it should deploy in a moment. Yeah, great. That's it.
Perfect.
That's it. I've done it. And the thing is, we are not. And if you want, if you want to edit your website with someone else, with your client, or if you want to be able to, to edit a page with someone else, you can go in a team, and from a team you are able to edit. For example, for Studio, if I want to edit my Studio app, I should be. I didn't set the right token. I'm editing Studio from my staging platform to be sure the staging is also great. But from this editor, we have the editor, the Monaco collaboration. So you are able to see the cursor of your colleague, and you can work together on the same page. That's the point. And of course, you can share the preview links and stuff and everything.
Perfect. Yeah, this is. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I was really impressed by Studio. Right now, it's really amazing for developers, and I think that those tech-savvy people who write documentation don't have any problems with Markdown. But I'm already also very excited about the thing that you mentioned. So all the things that are coming in the future, right? Because you already mentioned, the new editor, and I think that this will be one of the most important thing. What features are you aiming to add to the new editor?
So yeah, currently we are already poking and we have already a good proof of concept of non-tech editor. This is the name. This is the current name of it. Maybe we need to find another name. But yeah, that's a non-tech editor. So it's based on TipTap, and you should be able to. It's more like a Notion editor. That's the idea, to give the ability for non-tech user to update the content without knowing anything about Markdown. So that's the main thing we want to do. And it's complete for Markdown. It's okay. It's really easy to do that for Markdown, but the complex part, it's for view components. How to display the component syntax, how to display the slots, how to display the props. So we need to find the best way of doing that. And then I think we should release a beta editor in a close future in order for user to give us their feedback and and to know if it's if it suits their needs. And also we are also working on a complete non-tech mode in order to hide all the developers wording from GitHub. So hide the new branch. We won't talk about new branch. We won't talk about merge, about squash. In fact, we would like the developers to be able to customize the non-tech experience and say, for example, if a non-tech user, because we will need some role to do that, so there will be the developer role and the editor role, and if the editor enters Studio, I want him to, maybe he has to create a branch, no choice. He can only commit on this branch. Maybe he can't squash or he can't merge. He doesn't have the choice. We can imagine lots of configuration that can help the non-tech user to not be lost inside all the technical wordings of GitHub.
Yeah, that's true. Because for us, this is something simple. It's like everyday life. I can imagine that putting a non-technical person in front of them, seeing all those pull requests, branches, and squashing and merging and everything is like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And what other features are you working on? Or maybe there is some dream feature that you would like to integrate at some point?
Yeah, we have lots of features we would like to implement. There is lots of different things. So I could talk of lots of different things. Currently, we are really working close to the UI Pro team, because we would like the UI Pro product library to be totally customizable from Studio itself. So with the Nuxt Content X UI Pro stack, you could totally update it from Studio. So we are working on that. We are working on starters, a new new doc starter based on UI Pro. because lots of people are asking for documentation, and we know that it's really important. But we can think of lots of different other templates, and that's a big big step, a big thing we are working on. So yeah, starters, UI Pro. The non-tech editor is taking a lot of time, of course. That's a really big one. And we are also releasing side features release at each release, because it's always fun for users to see that there is new features. So I can should I do that? I don't know. Should I tease the next release? But for example, if you go on the staging, you can see that here there is a new button, and you can choose the mode you want to display, mobile, tablet, and you can even play with it with a custom. So that will be part of the next release.
And I can tell you that this will be so useful, because I know that some people just don't have the imagination to see how something looks on mobile or something without just seeing it.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
You can be sure that it's matching all the device. That's the idea. So yeah, we have big features we are working on. So the non-tech editor, that's the biggest one. UI Pro integration is also a big one. But we try to have like side features, which are features in fact asked by the community. And yeah, we have people asking for features, and we want to drive our roadmap based on their ideas. And I just I just realized that I was watching something at my screen, but without sharing it. I was watching
the feature. Yeah, so you can share it. Yeah,
I can just quickly share it.
Of course.
I was just sharing it. That's funny. Okay, so here is you have a new button, so you can switch between tablets. That's funny. I was showing that without even screen share. So you have the tablets mobile, and you can also switch on a custom mode and just choose your just like the browser dev tools, in fact. So we know that some people asked for it.
The custom mode is very smooth, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be released next Tuesday for the next release. And yeah, that's great to propose some new feature, side features, release after release, and we are also working on that.
Perfect. Okay, so to sum up, if you are looking for a much better experience with editing your Markdown files, because let's be honest, I know that some people can use even Visual Code Studio for it, but why waste time if you can do it in an easier way? You should definitely give a try to Nuxt Studio. It's amazing, both in terms of editing the Markdown files itself, especially the component parts, managing the images. I mean, for me, always when it comes to Markdown's images were the biggest problems, because you have to remember to add them to start or something. And here you can just drag and drop and it works. So that's perfect. Also, having a possibility to update the settings, the config file. This is also something very very useful. You just don't have to, I don't know, change something in the code. You just can click here and there and it will work. So yeah, from my perspective as a developer, it's really great. The only downside that it's only for Nuxt, and
I know.
Yeah, but
I know, but I
mean, that's a great selling point. That's great selling point for Nuxt. If you want to use this great editor, yeah, use Nuxt, not something else. Just use Nuxt.
Yeah, sure. It's really, in fact, we can. There is a lot of research and development behind it, and we can do all of what we are doing thanks to Nuxt and thanks to Nuxt content. So that's the reason why, of course, for the moment it's not framework agnostic, and currently it's Nuxt Studio. It's not Astro Studio, of course, but yeah, in a perfect world, it could be open to to any framework. I hope so. One day we will go deeper.
I mean, I really hope so. But still, as you mentioned, if someone would like to add a new feature, to have something, they should go to a GitHub, to your GitHub repository, right? And probably start a discussion there or anything.
In fact, we have a dedicated Discord. So from the website itself, you have a help and discussion section from the website itself on the main drop down, and you will be directly connected to the Discord. And yeah, there is a different channel on the Discord if you are facing a bug, if you want a feature, yeah, we are discussing with the community and helping people there. So yeah, the Discord is the place to go if you have any feedback, and we are waiting a lot for feedbacks. That's really important for us. And so feedbacks, features requests, bug issues, yeah, whatever. That's on the Discord.
Yes, as you can see, I mean, overall, I learned that the whole Vue community is very friendly, and if you have any problem, just go and ask. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, sure. This was my really impression from the last year JS World and Vue.js World. Really, the Vue community really amazed me. Not only how active it is, how friendly it is, like a big spread it all around the world family. So it's a really great impression. So yeah, and I wanted to first of all thank you for spending your time and showing how Nuxt Studio works. And on the other hand, I really can't wait for all the new features. So like maybe in a year, we will be doing the part 2 of hey, look how Nuxt Studio got even more amazing during just 1 year.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
So yeah, that's perfect. We can set the date soon, and we'll see how it will work in a year. So thank you everyone for watching us, and tune in for next week, because this episode was a bit later than usual. So next week we will have another episode, and again we will dive into a bit of Vue.js. So yeah, this, like I said, really, this Vue.js community is very friendly. They are so open to go to my show. It's really amazing. Okay, so thank you everyone, and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you very much, Maciek.